Okay, so we're going to deviate a little bit from the textbook we've been using. We're going to try something a little different today. We're going to do some printed notes. So we are going to learn to classify triangles first by its angles. So even though they give us measures of sides, we don't have to necessarily look at those to classify it when we're looking at angles. Now, when we talk about angles in a triangle, there are 4 different types of triangles. There's what's known as an acute triangle. That means all the angles are less than 90 degrees. There's an obtuse triangle, and that's where one angle is greater than 90 degrees. There's a right triangle, in which case one angle is 90 degrees or a right angle. And then we have what is known as an equiangular. Okay, so equa is exactly the way it sounds. It's where all the angles are equal in a triangle. So one thing to note about that, if they're all equal, then they all have to be 60 degrees. Because if there's 3 angles, 60 times 3 would be 180, and that has to be the angle measures in a triangle. Okay, so let's take the first one here. I'm going to write these in blue. So problem number 1, we look at the angles. Well, right here, we have a right angle. So that would be a right triangle. Okay. Problem number 2, we look at the angles. Less than 90, less than 90, less than 90. So that means that one is called an acute triangle. So problem number 3, again, we're going to look. Less than 90, less than 90, less than 90. So again, that's an acute triangle. And then problem number 4, less than 90, less than 90, less than 90. So that is also an acute triangle. Now, again, we're just identifying these by their angles. When we slide down here, we can also look and see how to identify triangles by its sides, okay? When we do by sides, there are 3 different types. We have what is called a scalene. Scalene is when none of the sides are equal. We have an isosceles, which means at least, okay, that's important, at least 2 sides are equal. And then the last one we have is called equilateral. So it's like the equiangular. Equilateral means all the sides are equal. Okay, so do these in black. Problem number 5, we look at the sides, not the angles. So the sides, these are all different. So that would be a scalene triangle. Problem number 6, sides, they're all different. So again, scalene triangle. Problem number 7, okay, we have 2 sides equal. 2 sides equal, that one is isosceles. Problem number 8, 2 sides are equal again, isosceles. Now, if you notice, problem number 8 and problem number 7 are the same problem. The triangle's just been turned, and that's going to happen to us quite a bit as we continue on with triangles. We're going to look and see a lot of times the pictures have been flipped on us. Okay, let's do the question 9 and 10. Now, in this case, we're identifying the triangle by both its angles and sides. So I'm going to start first with angles. Well, I see right there, there's 90. Okay, and so instead of the box, they use a number. So that means it's a right triangle. Then I look at the sides. All the sides are different, so that makes it a scalene. So it's a right triangle and a scalene triangle. Okay, number 10. Look at the angles. The angles are all equal, so that makes it equiangular. But they're also less than 90. So that also makes it an acute triangle. So in this case, it's two different names, equiangular as well as acute. Then we look at the sides. All the sides are the same, so that's equilateral. But it's also isosceles. Why? Because the definition for isosceles triangle is at least two sides are the same. Well, it has at least two equal sides. Therefore, it is also considered an isosceles triangle. So one thing you've got to be careful of is a lot of times, and we say this in math all the time, same thing in different ways. It is the same triangle, but it can be named in 4 different ways. So hopefully that gives you a little quick review of classifying triangles.